The sweet spot for a smartwatch package, great battery life, amazing fitness tracking features, and a lot of data that you can use to adjust your own lifestyle and daily habits to be healthier. Which one is better in this challenge, Amazfit GTR2 versus Huawei GT2 Pro? Let's inspect! Hey everybody, nice to meet you. I'm Michael, and if we see each other for the first time, my pleasure. Consider subscribing to the channel because what we usually do here is to inspect cool tech. And straight to today's topic, two of the best smartwatches of 2021. So here on the left, we've got the Amazfit. That's my left, that's your right most likely. But that's the Amazfit GTR2. And right next to it, we have the famous Huawei Watch GT2 Pro. Actually, if you do some research, you're going to figure out that both actually have been released in late 2020, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be topping the charts of best smartwatches of 2021. So we want to compare them. They have a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences. And since they are direct competitors, this video is going to be something like a battle, 7 rounds. And maybe in advance you can let me know who do you think is gonna win. Use the comments below, tell me who do you think at the end is gonna be the winner, the GT2 Pro by Huawei or the Amazfit GTR2. Let's go! In here we're gonna talk about the design and the build quality, and even just by looking into both, I think there's no doubt which one looks more premium. The GT2 Pro is a lot more stylish. It also is the thicker from both, and subjectively, I like the feeling of it on the hand a lot more. But for some people, being slim is priority, so if that matches your tastes, the GTR2 by Amazfit is the one that you should go for. Purely based on specifications, materials are also quite different. Premium titanium body and sapphire glass and genuine leather strap. The Amazfit GTR2, on the other hand, packs the more mainstream aluminium and tempered glass together with silicon band. Both watches are equipped with quick-release mechanisms, so you have the freedom to choose from the thousands of compatible bands. In terms of UI and menus, both watches have 2 buttons on the side, configurable swipe actions on the touchscreen for easier navigation, and all the sensors are on the back side. When it comes to design and build quality, I think aesthetics and materials are what truly matters. So we have a clear winner, the Huawei Watch GT2 Pro. In the next stage, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, the battery life, and this is actually the reason why I've been favoring so much the Huawei Watch GT series for such a long time, because to me all that matters is battery life. I'm really sick of having to charge my device every night or every other night, so actually both of them are doing pretty decent job in the battery compartment. But, well, you can see the watch faces. Actually, this is not yet the standby watch face. It's going to light up in just a few moments. I'm trying to say that it's really difficult to fairly compare the battery life due to the fact that both smartwatches have some different features. For example, the GT2 Pro supports automatic sports detection, and it supports phone calls in a slightly different way, and it has a few more other features which consume a little more battery, like for instance the continuous SpO2 tracking. On the other hand, well, there are some unique features for the Amazfit GTR, so I'll do my best to compare them fairly. Also, the always-on displays have different calibration and respond to the daylight in different ways. Because of all that, I often tend to say that battery life varies. With my kind of usage, always-on display, sleep and HR tracking, SpO2 measuring when possible, few workouts per week and messaging on, I got around 6 to 7 days per cycle with the Amazfit GTR2 and about 1 day less with the Huawei wearable. If we start to shut off some of the services like Always On or the HR tracking, values can go a lot higher, even up to a month, but still the GTR2 felt like giving me a little longer endurance. While in this round, I'm gonna gladly give the point to the Amazfit device, let's highlight that it's a huge advantage to be able to charge the Huawei Watch wirelessly. Even if I forget the charging dock at home, I can enable the reverse wireless charging and get it back on track. Third major component of a smartwatch, and this is by far My favorite watch face, it's called Nerdy Watch, and it's one of the standard watch faces in the GT2 by Huawei, but doesn't matter, it doesn't tell you which is gonna be the winner at the end. So, they are very similar, same size, and internally, a lot of the components seem to be identical. But there are some obvious differences. Usually we say the brighter, the better. Concerning size, there are different opinions though, therefore most makers are going to offer two sizes. You're looking at the 46mm editions of both watches, and the display specs are very similar. You may know that display brightness levels are measured in nits. The value for GTR2 is 450, while the Watch GT2 Pro goes as high as 1000 nits. In real life, however, this difference is not that drastic and significant, and with choosing the right watch face, both smartwatches are well visible in daylight. Viewing angles are also quite good, slightly better on the Huawei device. Subjectively, during the whole time, I've had the feeling that the AMOLED on the GT2 Pro is a lot better, and I find the overall experience with it a lot more pleasing. On the other hand, I believe the animations on the GTR2 are snappier, which compensates in some way the imperfections of the not-so-premium screen inside. Other than that, sizes are identical, both are 1.39 inches, with the same pixel density and resolution of 454 by 454 pixels. So, another round in favor of Huawei. Okay, we're done talking about the displays, and right now the result is pretty interesting. Next stage is about features, and because the time here is limited, I can't talk about every single feature that those two smartwatches are supporting, but I can invite you to watch thorough, deep reviews for both of them. Now, each one of them has been inspected, and you can see the reviews somewhere here, or I'm going to link them down in the description below the video. Let's focus on those features that you're going to use the most. The lift wrist gesture to light up the screen works flawlessly on both. While none of them supports LTE, there's implementation to make phone calls on both. The Huawei device has clearly the better implementation because you can add contacts and dial from the watch any of these limited to 10 phone numbers. With the GTR2 by Amazfit, the procedure is a lot more complicated. You can get only incoming calls, and in some ways it is confusing, and there still are some complications when transferring the call to the headset in case you respond from the watch. Quite a miss. Two major firmware updates, and this still hasn't been improved, using it with the OnePlus smartphone for the record. HR tracking is great on both. There used to be firmwares that messed it up for Huawei, but then it was quickly recovered. Amazfit, on the other hand, had a very serious issue with the steps counter. It's now fine. The more time passes by, the better all the features will become. The app amount for both is similar. They are not running a truly smart OS, since the focus is on better battery life and more sports tracking. So the amount of features is rather similar. True, inside the Huawei smartphone app there's now a section for extra apps installation. There also is a way to use navigation, however bringing you back to the starting location in case you get lost. Nothing even close to Google Maps and similar. The GTR2 by Amazfit handles in a better way storing files due to the availability of Wi-Fi, and it can transfer music to the watch a lot quicker. So I think despite the minor differences, that's a tie. Alright, next we talk about sports and workouts, and if we focus just on the amount of workouts supported by both, well, it's gonna be a pretty easy win for the Watch GT2 Pro. But wait for a moment, because sometimes having too many kinds of workouts could be confusing. The Amazfit GTR2 also supports a lot. The defaults are, however, selected in a better way. Feature-wise, sports activities have similar logic of planning and setting up. After each and every workout, you're going to get recommendations about the recovery time and a lot of statistics. Those that are performed outdoors are going to be accompanied by GPS, which happens to be more accurate on the Huawei watch. Amazfit continue to struggle delivering stable signals, similar to what many of you have reported with the first generation. The navigation back feature mentioned earlier also makes me want to give the point to GT2 Pro, but the lack of integration with one of the top sports apps in the world, Strava, means that we give this point to Amazfit GTR2. It's just a few taps away in the Zepp smartphone app. And since we opened it already, let's talk about the software for your smartphones. Zepp, that's how the app for Amazfit is called now, formerly known as Amazfit app. That's Huawei Health. Both show huge amount of data, more scientific approach in Huawei's app, with a lot of analysis and recommendations for well-being based on the medical research. Very nice looking and very tidy. I like better the lighter theme on Huawei, but there are a little more functions inside the Zepp app. I've had issues with both, and Zepp feels slower, heavier, and a lot more confusing. In iOS, you should expect a number of complications with the Huawei Health app though. It offers way less features. For instance, you have no access to the watch face market, which is quite annoying. So if you're an iUser, the watch will work, however will be less customizable. For Android, to keep it up to date, you have to download the app from the official Huawei website because the Play Store doesn't seem to provide the new versions. None of these apps is perfect, but both are very good, so we can settle on having an even score for this round as well. Let's sum things up and talk about the last and sometimes the most important battle, the price. There used to be time when these feature watches were a lot more affordable. Watch GT launched just above $100, Amazfit GTR for $120, and now the prices are considerably higher. The GT2 Pro regularly is priced at $300. The Amazfit GTR is around $180, but I hope to see the price going down eventually, because masterpieces like Galaxy Active 2 watch are often accessible at this amount of money. Well, here's a fun fact. The Amazfit GTR2 is the clear winner based on these 7 criteria we've just listed. But at the end, what is important is what truly matters to you. Yes, the only way to make the right choice is to think about which are the features that you favor the most. For example, I like the GT2's wireless charging and design so much that even though it lost in terms of score, there is no force in this world which is going to make me wear willingly the GTR2 over the GT2 Pro. And maybe you can go ahead and let me know which is your favorite feature of any of those bodies, or probably if you prefer another smartwatch due to other reasons. Let's talk about all that in the comments right below. And I think that's the end of this episode. Probably if you want me to compare other smartwatches, just let me know, request, and give me an idea, and I'll use that in one of the next episodes. And thank you so much for being with me throughout this episode. As usual, links to both, as well as all the gear mentioned throughout the episode, you're going to find in the description below the video. My name is Michael, wishes for a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!